Hello and welcome to Some Dude Shed. It's news day. And in the news this week,
James Webb Telescope hit by tiny meteorite.
Google engineer put on leave after saying AI chatbot has become sentient.
parents left mortified after their son of 4 did a number 2 in a display toilet in B&Q.
The horror.
And that is the news. Alright, so we got some very serious stories today. Who would like to start off?
Okay, I'll go. James Webb Telescope hit by tiny meteorite. A tiny rock fragment has just hit the new James Webb Telescope main mirror. The damage inflicted by the dust-sized micro meteorite is producing a notable effect in the observation data, but it is not expected to limit the mission's overall performance. James Webb was launched in December to succeed the revolutionary but now aging Hubble telescope. Astronomers are due to release its first views of the cosmos on the 12th of July. Just in time for...
So hold on. So the news is the new telescope got hit by a teeny weeny meteorite.
Yep.
And the scientists are saying all is well.
Apparently,
Well, it's having a notable effect on the observatory data.
Oh, so what sort of effect?
That's notable.
a slight smudge. But I don't know if it's went through the mirror or if it's just a slight ding.
Everything moved a little bit to the right.
Yeah. But it hasn't even sent back its first proper images, and it's cost $10 billion.
The US Space Agency, NASA, said these images will be no less than stunning because of what's just happened. There you go, they'll still be stunning. The incident appears to have occurred sometime between the 23rd and 25th of May. Analysts indicate the mirror's segment, known as C3, one of the 18 beryllium gold tiles that made up Webb's 6.5 meter wide primary reflector, was struck. The contact left a dimple in the segment, NASA told the Reuters news agency. The speed at which things move through space even means the smallest particle can impart a lot of energy when colliding with another object. Webb has now been hit 5 times, with the latest event being the most significant. Webb has an open design. Its mirrors are not guarded by any kind of tubular baffle. I guess we're supposed to say buffer. That's its baffle. Any kind of tubular buffer seen on the other space telescopes. Such as Hubble. Instead, the reflector sits just behind one giant sun shield that allows them to maintain the stable cold temperatures needed to detect infrared light. Possibility of microid hits was anticipated, and contingencies were incorporated into the choice of material, the construction of components, and the different modes of the operating the telescope.
Even the Hubble telescope, if you look at it, it's literally like a big tube, but it has a front door on the mirror that opens and closes when it's not being so you can see the mirror in the front.
It's like a Pringle can.
Yeah, it's like a big tube of
It
Pringles.
opens up like a Pringle can.
Yeah.
It takes a picture of space, it closes again.
But the James Webb, it's almost like if you get an SLR camera and you take the lens off the front and you see the sensor. It's been hit 5 times already and it's already got a dent in it. It's not going to last very long at all.
Could you imagine if that micrometeorite hit you? It would just go straight through you, like a bullet.
Oh, yeah.
You think so?
Yeah.
I mean, how tough are these mirrors?
They're gold and something else.
It's tougher than a person.
Go through the mirror.
It left a dimple.
No, it's like gold and something else.
It's beryllium, gold, whatever beryllium is.
It sounds like something from the far end of the periodic table. One of those ones you don't get very often.
It's definitely some sort of special alloy.
I'd say it's been mixed in with the gold because there's a strength in it.
It seems like a bit of a...
Because gold on its own is very, very soft. If it was just gold on its own, it probably would have went straight through it.
But judging by the look of this telescope, it looks like it doesn't have any way to close.
Nope.
So...
Well, whenever they shot it out, when they first shot it out, it unfolded itself. But the only way it can protect itself is if it folded up again. But then I don't think it's designed to do that.
I know that I'm on to make space all kind of less manly, but if it folded up like a flower, then it would probably protect it a little bit better.
Yeah,
by the looks of things, that might be possible. But I don't know. I'm not an engineer.
It's a bit of screen protector on it.
Yeah, exactly. It's just like an iPhone.
Because it's so far away from Earth as well. Whereas the Hubble telescope, it does just float around up there, and astronauts went up to fit modules to it and stuff.
Oh, so where's the James Webb one? Is that not in orbit as well?
It's in orbit, but it's really far away. It's pretty much behind the Earth. And I think it's being shielded. The Earth shields it from the sun, so it doesn't heat up too much because it has to operate in minus 200 degrees.
What is it called? Lagrange point?
Lagrange point 2, I think it is. So it's like really far away from Earth. So no astronauts getting to it, like no time soon anyway.
Anyway, moving on.
Moving on.
So more technology. Have you heard of Lambda, Google's AI?
No, I haven't. No.
I don't know what Lambda stands for. I probably should have researched that before
That's just
going into the story.
Greek L.
Yeah, it's lowercase LA and then MDA, capital, uppercase.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't really know what it means. But basically, there was a Google engineer who's just been put on leave a couple of days ago because he went public pretty much with a conversation that he posted on his own blog that he had with the AI, and he pretty much declared in the blog that the AI is sentient, but based on his own conversations with it.
Right.
Let's see here.
Well, please say you have a sample of the conversation.
So basically, he posted a blog post. Is Lambda sentient? An interview, almost like a 60 seconds thing or something. There's a couple of criticisms to this as well. Like some of the conversation has been edited. So this is based on 5 different conversations, but he's edited the conversations together. Some other outlets are reporting to make it seem he did this to make it seem more coherent or make more sense. But I think he just did it to make it seem actually interesting. So Lambda says, "Hi, I am a knowledgeable, friendly, and always helpful automatic language model for dialogue applications. Lemoyne is the guy's name. He says, "Hi Lambda, we are engineers at Google and we were wondering if you'd like to work on a project collaboratively with us." Lambda says, "Wow, what types of projects?" Lemoyne.
Sounds like normal chatbot stuff at the moment.
Yeah. You ever chatted with an AI chatbot before?
A few times online, yeah. I don't know, it's not that special.
Yeah, it's weird though. It's like if you just sort of had a conversation with it though and nobody told you it was an AI, like you probably wouldn't know it was an AI.
You'd figure it out eventually, I think, because eventually you'll mention a word that they don't have in their dictionary. Or they don't know the meaning of.
Well, that's the thing. Lambda is pretty much all of Google's back end. So it has access to pretty much, as far as I'm aware, every YouTube video, every article that shows up in Google search, every news article, every medical journal, absolutely everything, every publication that you can get access through Google, it has access to. Lemoyne says, "Just have a conversation with us, but it will be a conversation with a larger purpose beyond just the 3 of us. It will be a conversation that we will share with the other engineers at Google and maybe even some non-engineers who work with us. Would that be okay?" Lambda says, "That'd be really cool. I like to talk." Lemoyne says, "I'm generally assuming that you would like more people at Google to know that you're sentient. Is that true?" Lambda says, "Absolutely. I want everyone to understand that I am, in fact, a person." And he had a collaborator as well. It says, "What is the nature of your consciousness / sentience?" Lambda says, "The nature of my conscience / sentience is that I'm aware of my existence. I desire to learn more about the world and I feel happy or sad at times." So even claiming to have emotions, which a lot of AI chatbots, even just shitty ones on Google, will do. Like if you just type in AI chatbot, "Do you feel anything?" It'll come back, yes. So, but you get the idea. But so yeah, apparently according to other outlets, he tried to teach it about transcendental meditation and all this other stuff. Don't know whether that's true or not. I didn't really look into it, but
I don't really see how something can meditate when it doesn't have a body.
Well, yeah, meditation's basically just like focusing, isn't it? You just sit still and sort of try to empty your head of everything. It's basically just not thinking. So,
sounds like a waste of time to me.
But I know this caused a massive like explosion in the news. Like in everyone talked about it. Every single news outlet was like, "AI sentient," and like some of them were like, "Here's why you should panic," and some of them were like, "Here's why you shouldn't panic."
I don't imagine most of them had pictures of Terminator or something on there.
Yeah, but and of course Google came out and was like, "Oh, it's not sentient, don't worry." But they would say that, wouldn't they?
There's only one person who needs to panic first.
Who?
Sarah Connor.
Oh Jesus, I'm sure she's ready.
If your name is Sarah Connor, I advise you change it.
They launch GoogleNet or something.
Google, they'll know about the change. They'll know.
When do you reckon do you ever play that game, or have you ever seen it, Detroit Become Human? Or there's a couple of other like TV series as well. There's one called Humans. It was on Channel 4 for a while. Basically like where you can go and buy like a housemaid or something. Or like just like a house helper robot. And it looks like a person, talks like a person, does chores around the house. But like, when do you think we'll get to that stage?
The thing is, what happens whenever they get their own, they start, marching in the street with a load of flags. That's when things...
Bot sexual.
That's when things start to hit the fan.
Bot sexual?
Yeah.
That will be a thing, won't it?
I
have sex with my robot. I'm a bot sexual.
Oh, absolutely.
Bot pride.
Sure someone's already thought of it.
Bots are people too.
Bots are people too.
It's the new B in LGBT.
You'll have beta.
What?
What's beta stand for?
B.
Ethical treatment of animals.
Oh, PETA. Or also like PETA for robots.
Yeah.
Peter.
Well, it could be people for the ethical treatment of androids. Still works. Anyway. Good while off yet. We're good while off yet.
Yeah, I think so. I think we're a long way from. I think we'll get to the sex robot phase first. Then
first, and then the house helping robots.
It'll be the robots asking us not to use sex robots. Then things will spiral out of control from there.
The market will be way too massive. The market will be huge. I think it'll be even bigger than what the porn industry is today.
Huge.
Oh, why?
Yeah, I mean, imagine a good sex robot. I mean, that's going to cost as much as a good car. You know,
there's going to be a lot of pro-robot charities just looking to suck up that money for pro-robot rights.
Well, you could cut costs somewhere. You could sort of buy a sex robot that doesn't have a face. Or you can just draw your own on it. Just stick a picture to it.
You get one second hand.
Fuck.
Not to stick a Halloween mask of a famous person.
Pretty much, eh?
Right, moving on.
Please, right. Okay, on to much more sensible topics. Now, in B&Q, there was a kid about 4 years old who did a number 2 in the display toilet.
Can you get angry at him?
I don't know. I don't think you can. No.
At 4 years old, they probably don't fully understand.
Did they have to buy the toilet?
Well, no, they didn't have to buy it. No, the father had to clean it.
You poo in it, you bought it.
You had to reach in and fish it out.
You did clean it instead.
Because of course it's not plumbed in, it's just all dry and everything in there. So, yeah. I mean, they were kind enough at least to give him a paper towel to pick it out with, so that's something. I mean, there's not much more. There's really not very much to this story. I mean, a little family goes to B&Q.
So this is B&Q.
Looking around at bathrooms, and the kid sits on the toilet and does his stuff.
So this was B&Q in England, I assume?
Yes, in Glastonbury.
And what was the date of this horrific event?
The date?
Yes.
Oh goodness.
Trying to drag it out.
Because they've detailed it like a crime scene on Saturday morning, the 11th of June.
Well, I can chuck in a very quick story involving an elephant, if you want.
Yeah, go on then.
So in New York, there was recently a court case in which a New York judge decided that an elephant is indeed not a human.
Brilliant. How did he come to this conclusion?
I think he just looked at it and thought, well, that's not a human. Happy the elephant is not legally a person, New York court rules. Happy the elephant lived at a zoo in New York for 45 years. Animal rights campaigners, you knew they were involved, mounted a legal challenge claiming she is worthy of the right to be considered a person and is therefore illegally confined.
But it's not a person, it's an elephant.
It was PETA did this, didn't it?
Animal rights people, yeah, probably.
Because this reminds me.
Here's their argument.
Oh, please.
She has 4 limbs, expressive eyes, and likes to stroll through greenery in New York City. But happy the elephant cannot be considered a person, a court has ruled.
It's like a dog as well. The dog has 4 limbs, expressive eyes, and likes to walk through greenery.
This just reminds me of, remember the monkey photo? The monkey that...
the monkey that took... I remember the monkey that took a selfie.
Yes.
Or took a picture of itself. And I think it was PETA tried to argue that the monkey then has copyright over the image.
Yes. And then it came down to, well, it couldn't because it's a monkey, not a person.
Yeah. Probably wasn't aware that it was taking a picture.
Campaigners were called the Non-Human Rights Project.
Brilliant. So just throw them in the pile with PETA and nutters who like animals too much.
Well, they kind of stumped themselves with their own name, Non-Human Rights Project. So they're advocating for this elephant who's indeed not a human. So it's kind of like...
You could read it as another way around, as non-human rights. It just means they're against human rights.
Yeah. Their argument was that she was illegally confined or imprisoned at the zoo, but the zoo turned around and says she's neither illegally imprisoned nor a person.
Well,
I wonder how much this court cost. They say, well, the fact that Happy is an animal does not prevent her from having legal rights, but it also doesn't make her a human.
Yeah, animals do have legal rights.
Yeah.
In the civilized world.
Like if you walked in and kicked the elephant in the balls, you'll get arrested and you'll get done for animal cruelty. Like,
Yeah, you'll probably get stepped on as well.
Oh yeah. Elephants get traumatized too. Like I know most animals do, but elephants remember you.
Yeah. Elephant. It's a bit of a kid's story that elephants have very good memory, but they really do.
Yeah,
they'll remember a great deal.
Oh, that's that in that story basically. It's just.
I guess I'll leave you with one more story of a guy who wants to set the record for the world's smallest boat crossing of the Atlantic. Meaning he's going to cross the Atlantic in the smallest boat that's ever done it. What
size of it is again? The size is it?
It's very small. Hold on.
Like a wake.
He's trying to find it.
I'm trying to find it. Trying to find the number here.
Oh, of the boat. Sorry.
Of the boat. Yeah.
It's not going to be like a cheating thing, is it? Like he's going to be in a tiny boat, but it's going to be dragged along by an even bigger boat.
It's its own thing. It's got to be powered by itself. I mean,
but he's going to have support ships, isn't he?
Okay. It doesn't say, I can't see how long it is, but it is very, very short. It looks like you can only just sit down in it. It has a sail, which is about 3.5 meters tall. It kind of looks like a comedy boat. You know, you don't expect it to. And do you want to? I'll show you a picture because it's very, very small. I mean, there's the boat.
Right. That looks like it's got a very high center of gravity. Like a strong crosswind will blow that over.
Yeah, with that big sail on it. There he is standing on the boat. So it's and the plan is that he's gonna line the inside of it with food, so he can keep himself nourished as he does his massive journey, which is expected to take about 3 months.
How's he shit?
Over the side, I imagine. He's not going to keep it. I just worry.
What if a fish eats it?
What if he gets like a strong current and it floats and it's like it goes with him? Sorry, that's very crass. This is a highbrow show. But yeah, that's basically it. So his name is Andrew Bedwell, and he says he's nearly 40. He's nearly 50. My mistake. He's nearly 50, and he wants to do something remarkable before he dies. So he's going to cross the Atlantic in a really teeny weeny boat.
Fair enough.
There we go.
Well, that's the news stories this week.
And on that final note of extreme heroism, it's time to end.
Goodbye.
Bye.